So I did have the engine fully assembled and had it running in a bucket. And unfortunately, after about 2 minutes of running, the engine overheated severely, began to smoke, um, and burnt out two spark plugs completely. So I need to take a step back. So I'm going to remove the engine from the midsection, going to remove the head gasket, going to remove the exhaust plate, and just check all the channels. I know the impeller was working properly. I tested that separately. I know that the water tube was connected to the impeller. Um, so basically, I may have either missed a blockage in a channel or created a blockage in a channel with some of the gasket sealer. So I'll bring you back once I have these plates removed and the engine block sitting on the workbench. Okay, so I've taken off the exhaust plate and I don't see anything that looks like a major blockage. I'm going to take the head off next, and then I'm going to try to see if I can't run a thin wire through all the channels and see if there's anything blocking it. Maybe try and find a pipe cleaner and make sure everything's free and clear. So I'll remove the head gasket off, and I haven't seen any excessive amount of gasket material that's accumulated anywhere. So now I'm going to try and take a thin wire and find the channels and run through them, see if there's anything lodged. So you can see I've pretty much dismantled the whole engine block again. I've cleared away all the old gasket material. I cleared all the passages, but I really didn't find any blockages. So I'm wondering if the connection between the impeller and the tube is sufficiently tight. So I'm going to take a careful look at that as well. I'm going to take the lower unit off and connect the tube to the impeller and see if the grommet really fits as tight as it should around it. Maybe I'll take a look at trying to enhance that connection as well. Just put some gasket material around the head. We're going to give that a minute, and then we'll secure that on. I may have not had my camera on when I bolted down the two sides of the engine block. Come back in a minute. Okay, it's been a minute. So we're going to get the head gasket and the head cover back on. Goes on that way. go. One hole remains open. That's a longer bolt used to secure the air intake and muffler. Okay. That gasket material a minute. Okay. Next, I'm going to check the connection between the impeller and the copper tubing that delivers the water upwards. I had to borrow the recoil from another engine. The spring snapped in half in the original one. So a new spring's coming in the mail, and then I'll put the original recoil on this machine. I've already warmed it up a bit and dialed in the carburetor best I can. So let's take a look at how she does. Doesn't run the low speed so well. I think it's because it just doesn't have enough compression in one of the cylinders. Otherwise, all I really got to do now is put the cowling back on, and she'll be ready to use. Well, there it is, almost finished, except it needs its own recoil, but that'll wait until the spring comes in. The cowling doesn't fit perfectly, it was pretty banged up. That's about as close as I can get it. I managed to chip some of the paint in trying to get it on. Otherwise, it looks good. See what I mean by the two-part epoxy making it easy to remove oil smudges and resist gasoline. So that's ready to use. Thanks everyone for following along. My next project is going to be the same model engine, but the 1956. And I do think the 1956 is going to be in better condition than this one started. So I imagine this is putting this one together was a good test run for me to do an even better job on the 1956. All right, so take care everyone. Bye.